21st April 2019 marked a significant change in the lives of many here in Sri Lanka due to the acts of violent and indiscriminated terrorism. Last Sunday, I happened to be at my TEFL training class, and at around 8:45, between 8:45 and 8:50 a.m., I get a text from my ex, and all it read was, "Dimi, please tell me you didn't go to mass or you didn't go to church at St. Anthony's Kochikade." My immediate response to that was, huh? I was wondering, okay, what the hell is she talking about? What happened next, or what I received later rather, was a series of messages from my friends about a series of bombings that went out in 6 different locations in Sri Lanka. At first I thought it was a practical joke, right? 6 consecutive bombings in 6 different locations within a small time frame. I thought it was some sick joke that someone was making. But then when I sensed that people were panicking, this is also just by reading the messages, they kept sending links to media websites as to the truth about the bombings that was happening here. My humanity kicked in immediately, and I divulged this information to the rest of the class. And dude, you can just imagine what everyone's expression was the moment I said it. They were flabbergasted, dude. There were about 11 to 12 of us in that class, and everyone had the same expression of fear and what the fuck is going on. That's all I could see in their expressions: fear and what the fuck is going on. We started calling our loved ones, family, friends. I even called people who I cut links with, right? Because it didn't matter to me who it was or whatever we had in the past. I didn't give a damn. I just called them, checked up on them, and thank God they were all safe and sound. Sri Lanka has got global realization. Everyone in the world now knows Sri Lanka. And it's funny, because just a few weeks ago, I was having a chat on Messenger with Arun, guitarist of Abyss, and we were talking about music, as we were talking about how it'd be cool to see our bands that we playing now go on tours with the bands we listen to, like Time Fetus and Lamb of God, go on massive tours with them. And how Sri Lanka, a lot of people, a lot of countries in the world are not aware of Sri Lanka. Accurate to say, the world is not aware of the metal community here in Sri Lanka. But now, like I said before, everyone in this world knows Sri Lanka. And Harun, I don't think this is the way we want Sri Lanka to be known, man. Terror attacks, and a terror attack which is said to be one of the worst since 9/11. Definitely not the way to be known around the world, man. So there are a couple of things that have been affected here in Sri Lanka due to these attacks. One major thing is our tourism industry. Even though it's a clear intention, or it appears to be, I don't know what the fuck is going on in these guys' minds, but Christians and Catholics were attacked. But apart from that, the hotels, the attack on the 3 hotels was the intention of giving a massive blow to the tourism industry here in Sri Lanka. So that's affected. Another thing that's affected here is businesses. For instance, events such as movie theaters. We were supposed to watch Endgame on Friday, 26th, just like the rest of the world. The premiere, we were supposed to watch the premiere on Friday like the rest of the world. But we were informed a few days ago that the theaters had rescheduled it a week after the original date, so all of us need to be patient now. That's one thing. MSR, Mosh Cream Rock, which was supposed to happen on the 4th of May, just a few weeks from now, that's been postponed as well as a result of this. I was just having a chat with Virgin Marceline. He's supposed to be organizing a gig in Kandy this May. He was just texting me on Messenger saying that the gig they were supposed to organize in Kandy might be postponed as well. And I agree with you, man. Organizing anything for the time being is not the thing I expect anyone to take part in right now, given the situation. Even though it's been a week since the bombings, it still feels like it happened only yesterday. Going out, stepping out of the gate of our own houses and entering the public premises, the public places, on the streets, and traveling to places is honestly fucking frightening. Fucking frightening. It's not only me. I didn't send my sister to work on Friday. She wanted to go, and I told her I'll tie you to a chair or something if it means not letting you go to work. Because I was dead serious, and I'm sure a lot of you are feeling the same thing as well, whoever is watching this. Another thing that I want to talk about is private organizations. I have a lot of friends who work in private organizations and apparel industry. They're still going to work, man. And from what I have learned up to now is they're not even being granted a half-day leave. Fuck. Let me ask you guys, do you think your employees, let me ask the employers of these private organizations, do you honestly think your employees would give their 100%, okay, scrap out the 100%, would give it their day's best, to your company, to their job, to give their best for the day of fulfilling their job and the quota of work, whatever it is for the day, given the situation of the country, given the situation, given the mentality that these guys, that all of us are going through? afraid for our loved ones, afraid for our own lives. Now I'm talking being a former member or former employee in a private organization. I worked for what, 5 years, almost 5 years, in the apparel industry, and I had bosses worked, who I worked with rather, and I got the same sort of attitude and questions from them, just like the way you guys are experiencing now. And I get it. I get it. If I am to be in their shoes, if I am to be in my aim to be the managers or the bosses or the CEO shoes, I get it. I need people to run the business. I can't do it by myself. It's a massive organization. I want people to help me run the show. I need people. This is one of the things that I heard as well from my previous bosses. I need people to be in office to show them that everything's okay, and that I can run the show, and that I can run this business. So here's a question to you guys, to the people working in the private organizations, the managers and the CEOs, whatever. If you don't have employees, living employees, sure, we are replaceable. I was replaceable, easy. Do you still think that the safety of your employees overrules that of running the business? It's your dedicated employees, people who have been there 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever. It's still life. I had friends text me saying, you Kures better stay at home. You have only one life. You can find a job anytime, anywhere. So it's something for you guys to think about. Jobs are there. You're qualified. You're talented. You're educated. You're a blessing. You're great. You're everything. That's why you are here. But all of this is achieved through your single goddamn life. Reevaluate yourself and think whether your life really needs to be sacrificed over a job. Now, don't take it in the wrong way. Sure, you need the money. Sure, companies need the money as well. If you don't have the money, you don't have your own bread and butter. But given the situation right now, you won't have any bread and butter to eat, my friend. No bread and butter, and there will be no wine, there will be no beer, there will be no cigarettes, there will be no whatever, there will be no anything in your life if you're gone. Think about it. I thought about it a lot before sending my sister on Friday, and it wasn't easy. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy for any of us. But it's a sacrifice that must be made in order to live. So I'm sure all of you are aware by now, but there was a mistake in the death count, or rather I should say the number of deaths that was reported on news. We were initially given, or a few days, we were given a number of 359. Now it's been reduced by almost 100. Now we can play the blame game here, blame the Ministry of Health and blame all these guys for screwing up big time. That dude, I got a D for maths for my O level, so I just barely passed. But again, let's try not to play the blame game here. Let's try and look at least I'm going to look at the fact that these guys in the health section and the health ministry, sure, they screwed up. They screwed up big time. It's another shameful and embarrassing piece of information that the whole world is now aware of. But it all should be noted that our health and health sector has reduced number of casualties significantly. So I'm thankful and grateful to the health ministry for that, so thank you. Another thing that I want to share with you guys is this little note that I found yesterday. It was shared by one of my friends, Dinitha Tukorala. He shared it on Instagram today, so I'm just going to read it out to you guys. It's very interesting. It's based on everything that's currently happening here in Sri Lanka. Politics, terrorism, everything. So it's called That's Not My Job. Right, so this is how it goes. This is a story about 4 people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to do, and everybody was asked to do it. Everybody was sure somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody would do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. What a clear fucking message, man. I did have one person who was a victim of these terror attacks. Her name is Dhanandari, or mostly famous known as Dana. She worked as a manager at my previous companies that I worked in, Silhouette. And what I found out, man, that her entire family was wiped out during these attacks. She was attending mass at a church in Nigambo, if I'm not mistaken, and her family, which included her husband and 3 children, the youngest being 11 months old. Again, it's just sad, man. It's just fucking sad. I didn't know her that well. I just worked with her for a few times, but it's just heartbreaking. An entire family wiped out, and this is just one out of so many hundreds that are affected. If you have loved ones out there, friends, family, I'm even read that the pets are left alone now because that fellow's family has been wiped out completely due to the attacks. Again, if you guys have any family members, loved ones, friends affected due to these attacks, I'm really sorry for your loss. It's a real ache to the heart to know that such a thing could happen here in our beautiful country, and anywhere in the world for that matter. Fuck, man. You gotta give it a hand to the police dogs out there as well, man. The police, the army, and all the forces out there are doing a hecking good job in protecting and tracking down the criminals of this attack. And kudos to the dogs out there who are doing an excellent job in tracking the explosives. I don't think you do any good in tracking dogs. No, darling. But yeah, thank you all you good boys and good girls, doggies out there, for protecting us and saving our lives. Thank you. So I just have one message for the foreigners in abroad, obviously, and the Sri Lankans who are abroad as well. Don't abandon us, man. We are still the loving and beautiful Sri Lanka that you have always known. Sure, this is a terrible blow to the country and its people and its economy, but this is a humble request from all Sri Lankans to you guys out there. Don't abandon us. We love you, and we know you love us as much as we do as well. Our country will always continue to be open for you, for all our luxuries, for all our negativities. It's there wherever you go, man. Negativities are there wherever you go. Just know that Sri Lanka will get through this time of difficulty, through this time of agony, through this time of these horrendous acts committed, and we will come out stronger than ever before. We have done it before, we can do it again. Thank you for watching the vlog. My name is DIMI. Stay tuned to this channel for more updates, for more videos. Subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up if you like it, and spread the love, man. Don't hate. It's all we can do right now is just share the love and kindness.